that's the VTX too, right?
Yeah, the VTX and the camera.
It's all built, yeah.
They came out with the Scout things too. Okay, a little extra security here. Because this lid isn't, the magnets are coming off. Adding tape. Flying the C1 Chaser at the club. That was cool. Well, welcome. I'm going to do some firmware. I'm AC from DankRC, by the way, and I don't know what I'm doing on YouTube, but I did just do a live stream 20 minutes ago or something with it to make this part, and they have both worked out. This one is a little less than perfect, but it'll work. The zip tie goes right through here. The zip ties go right through. As you can see, I'm gonna turn on the light. Does that help? Ooh, that's better. Yeah, this way. Zip tie goes through this way, and you can feed it through there like that. Look at that. It's going to hold it in, and then the other zip tie, another zip tie will go through this hole like this. Yeah, so we designed and printed this part on the live stream like just an hour ago or something. It fits on the boom. That's the part that holds the antenna. Actually, we designed and printed this part, and we designed this part, but we didn't finish printing it because the live stream was 2 hours long. But now I've started a new one because we're going to take this now. So this fits in here perfectly too. And then we're going to flash, we've got to solder some wires onto here and flash the firmware. So that's what the antenna will look like without the, it'll be on the side. It'll be on the side of the boom. I don't know. I don't have it. It's planes over there. Anyway, we don't need that. So it was 2 successful prints. We only had one misprint for this one. Not a misprint, but a misdesign, I should say. So yeah, so we can move over to the SD cam, HD cam situation. Let's go there. Is that one? No. Oh dear, I'm not ready. There we go. Let's go to that one for now. And then I'm going to switch to another one, I think. So welcome, space travelers. What we're going to do is, yes, R9 seriously is what I said, because yes, I still run R9. And thanks to Andy, one of my flying friends, one of my two flying friends. I have two R9s. So we are going to solder this upside down from this manual here. And we're going to turn on the soldering iron. We've got our wires here. Do we have our wire stripper? We have our connector maker. We have our connectors. There we have our wires, our pliers, our cutters. You gotta have the strippers. And we have the lights not adjusted properly. That'll make it a little bit nicer. Which is the difference between that one and that one? Yeah, that one might be good because then, yeah, let's switch to that one. Give me a second here. Switch to that one. Yeah, how's that? How's that, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. Maybe in Europe. Do you remember Matt Ogborn's Rag the Nuts Off? I think he started off with coffee chat. That's what he did. He did coffee chat every day. This would be about the time, every weekday. Maybe he didn't do it on Saturdays. I know this is Saturday morning for you Europeans out there. And I know that he did that every day. And I would look forward to RC Coffee Chat with Matt Ogborn on Rag the Nuts Off. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to I don't even know if I'm in the picture. I guess I can see over there. This is the center. We're going to strip these a little bit. We're going to tin them, and we're going to see if we can get them to feed through from the top. And this is the top because it's got the button on it. So I'm just going to do one at a time. A slow-ass old man. And I guess I have good glasses on. Using a Hacko 888D, whatever that is, D for digital, and oh yeah, fits through there really nice. I want it to feed through the top, and then I want to solder that. So now what we need to do is make sure that we've got it in the camera. And we're going to use this masking tape to literally mask off the electronics so I don't screw them up. And I want this to point straight out the back like that. And I think I want to use my high magnification glasses. And do it from this side. There we go. That is the S-Bus wire. I hope. I don't want to make any mistakes. White will be next because it's upside down. It's like this. So we got blue, white. White is next. So we're going to take the white one. I do a lot of switching of glasses, folks, because What a professional job I'm doing. Maybe a little bit longer. We can always cut it off. Oh, didn't quite get it. These are nice silicone wires, as advertised from Amazon, believe it or not. My stripping job is less than perfect, but okay, we're going to tin this up. Just will take a second. And that's out of the picture. Let's go back. Tin that right there. There, see? We're doing what I'm supposed to do. Now we're going to take this and we're going to put it right through the next hole from the top. This is the top, so we're going this way. We want it to go through there. Oh yes, it's going through. Okay, I want it to come out. So now we're going to stick it down there like that. Then we're going to put some masking tape on like that. These receivers are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and this thing is almost huge compared to some of like the little Crossfire and the new Express LRS receivers. They're just tiny. Here we go. The white one is on. The next one is going to be the black one, the ground wire. So we're going to take the ground wire and we're going to strip it. Strip it. A total of this video has been watched for a total of 2 seconds according to the analytics. But maybe later. You guys can watch later. One of these days I'm going to learn how to come back and respond to comments and do all the social media things. Now you can see when I tin it, I hope that came on camera, I'm just going to do a little tiny bit of tinning, just enough to keep it together so I can get it through here. So now I'm patiently going to take it apart again. Yes, one at a time, just to make sure I get them all right. That's the black wire, ground. We're going to trim all these off. Okay, that's good. I keep pushing it, but that's good. We're going to put the tape back on. I've ruined electronics before by splattering. This is rosin core solder, and it will kind of not treat you right if it gets in between traces on a chip or voltage regulator or something. I'm not like Lilu FPV. I can't just go in there with the hot air gun. I don't have one, first of all. And okay, that's a good one. So I am not an expert like he is. The last but not least certainly is the red 5-volt ground wire. 5-volt, not ground. 5-volt DC power wire. I can't see. 10. Quick 10, very quick. And once again, we will untape this and pick this up. We'll stick the red wire in. That's what it looks like. That's it, and then we're going to line it up with the black one and the other one's going straight out the back. That's how we want it to go, straight out the back. And then let's put it there to protect the electronics. And by the way, for the other connectors, the other end to plug into the flight controller, I use the Pololu connectors. That's the type I use for the... Actually, I'm going to not use this exact one for this because it's separated. It's going to be 3 in 1. So I'm going to get a 3x1 and a 1x1. And I have those in stock. And then I also use these, which are these. These things are these things. So they are nice to have. And I have the crimping tool, also from Pololu. Anyway, here we go. Let's solder the last wire for this R9MM OTA that I think it's OTA. It doesn't really matter if it's OTA or not. The ACCST firmware is the same, whether it's the OTA version or the non-OTA version. There we go. Yep. We got it all on there. So we can turn the soldering iron off. SOLDERING. Soldering. Okay. Now the next part of this will be to put the connectors on the other end. But before I do that, I'm going to measure, or I'm going to twist them up. And actually, I'm going to change glasses. And to twist them up, what I do is I'm going to twist the red and the black. So let's look at the order and make sure that I double check my work. As you can see here, this is the manual for the receiver, and we want blue, S-bus, white, S-port, black, ground, and red, and then inverted S-port. They put in an inverted S-port on these newer ones, which is, for FrSky, pretty impressive. Because usually they're just like, you know, it's our way or the highway kind of people. Even though they get mad at people for trying to impede on their territory, this radio is an exact copy of previous generations of Japanese radios, like the JR radios. It's almost an exact copy. So FrSky's got nothing to say about people. It's just crazy. So what we're going to do is just twist twist and twist and twist, and we're going to try to be even about it. We want to twist the same amount of twist. Otherwise, one wire ends up longer than the other. Even though I cut them all the same length. And even though these wires don't really, the coating isn't plasticky, thank goodness. They're very silicone and bendable. And what is it, resilient, I guess you'd say. I don't know what the word is. Resiliency. They do stay twisted once you twist them. They'll stay like that. But you do have to twist them first. And take the time. This makes it a lot better. You can't just feed a bunch of crazy wires all over the place. You got to twist them together. It neatens up the process of wiring inside the plane, and it also helps with interference and noise. But it is time consuming. It like triples the amount of time it takes to make a cable. And I make a lot of cables, almost all the cables that I make for the planes I make myself, because it's got a flight controller, and then the other things you're connecting to the flight controller have their own connectors. So you got to take the wires that they give you and connect them to the wires that you make with these Palulu things to connect to your flight controller, or just solder them in line to other. See, look, they're already, oh no, they're still the same length. How about that? We're doing good. If you just do one twist at a time, it usually works out pretty good. If you try to just twist really fast, then it won't go so well. You'll end up with one like an inch longer than the other. Which means that what's happening is one is going straight and you're wrapping the other one around the straight one, which is not what you want. Am I being very particular? Now, is this the kind of thing that Matt Ogburn would do on RC Coffee Chat? No. Well, nobody's watching, but he would go look and he would talk about the things that just came to him in those boxes down there, which I haven't even opened. That's what he would do. And he would say what kind of thing it was and start talking about it and immediately start bashing it around. He'd say, this is as tough as old boots. Remember the S800? He smashed it onto the workbench. Those were my formative days. And okay, so look how long I've made this about. That's about 8 inches long. So I don't know what that is in centimeters. I should know because I'm trying to do the metric system I'm trying to live on the metric system and then convert over to imperial instead of the other way around. It's not going so well in America. I can't quite pull it off. But I'm trying. All my OSDs are in meters, and everybody I fly with, their OSD is in, Kevin and Andy, their OSD is in feet, their altitude. So I'm always trying to convert, telling them how high I am. It's just good for me. It's good for me to try to do that math quickly in my head, because it's not exactly 3 feet per meter. And over 100 feet or 200 feet or 100 meters, your mileage will start to literally start to vary. But seriously, having units based on the king's foot is a little stupid. And actually, there is no measurement for a foot. The foot is a certain amount. The official length of a foot is a certain amount of a meter. Why? Why is that? Because the meter is an actual scientific, it's based on science. I think it's based on how far this light travels in something, one very small period of time. Twisty. So now I twisted the power wires together, and now I'm twisting the signal wires together. Does that make sense? I think it does. I don't know if there's any official standing on that. When you get to twisted servo cables, there's 3 wires: power wire and power ground and signal. And they're all twisted together. If you buy this twisted kind from like Banggood, which I tried to, I like the twisted kind better than the straight plasticky stuck together kind. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about out there in TV land, but yeah. So what do you think if I just kept doing it every time I worked on a project like this? I did a live stream, RandomStream, R, registered trademark. Not really, that's a joke. You think people would start watching? It's not as interesting. I'm not as interesting as Matt Ogburn. I could never be as interesting or as entertaining as he is. I could never be as interesting or as entertaining as Joshua Bardwell. And he's not as interesting and entertaining. Well, he is as interesting and entertaining as Matt Ogburn, just in a different way. Okay, let's see how much twist we got on both of these. Almost the same amount. Let's get to the same amount, and let's see how much more twist we have to do to get it to fit in the plane properly. So what we're going to do here is I basically left extra. Caught up now. Here we go. Oh, not quite. A few more twists. And then we'll stick it in the plane and plan it out. This is what you're going to do if you're going to do a good kind of wiring job, which I'm going to try to do for this receiver situation. Then we'll cut it and put the connectors on, but then we won't put it in the plane yet. We will be, here, I'm going to back up a little bit. What is it for? Will be, oh, and I'm pointing down. There we go. Wide angle. We'll be trying to put it in the plane, but then we'll take it out, and then we'll put the connectors on, and then we will flash the firmware on it, which it'll be like 5 o'clock in the morning by then. And I still have to put the motor mount back on too, which we're not going to do in this live stream. But I had to take one of the motors off. Because it had melted. Oh, where did I put it? It's gone. The motor got so hot that my cheap PLA mount, even though it's really thick, melted. So what that means is that I'm probably going to have to alter these and put some wood on the face of it too. That'll help absorb the heat. But in the meantime, I'm just going to glue another one of these on. But that won't be now. That'll be later. So what I'm going to do now is to have the plane up here on the table. And then we can point the camera down at here. And then I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put this with the little mounts that I made on the last live stream. Gotta go in front of the camera here. Gotta go in front of the camera again, because I'm a professional. So we're gonna take this beautiful mess that we just created here, and we're gonna stick it like that. I guess you can see all my info on that sticker. And it's going to go like this. The wires go up. See, I planned that out right. Look at that. So all I have to do is trim those solder things. So now you see these cables. I'm going to feed through here. I should have done that first. I'm going to feed these through here. If I can get them all. There we go. And I'm going to see how long they have to be, approximately. So all I have to do is go to about there. They plug in. Plugs in right there. So go to about there. So I can cut. See, I don't want any extra length. You don't want extra length on your wires. Okay, so I want the wires to be that long. Should make a mark. Because they're going to get shorter if I twist them. Alright, I'm just going to keep twisting over here. That's what I'm going to do. Sorry, this is the most boring thing in the world, but hey, nobody's here anyway, so I'm only boring myself, which is good. Like I said, as I was rambling, Matt Ogborn, he's interesting, very opinionated, flies planes like he stole them, just like Mr. D falling with style, Darren Lines. Thanks, Darren, for all your content, by the way. Excellent work. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if that's long enough. That should be plenty. Where are we? It's going to go right to there. Actually, we're going to try to go on the side here. Yeah, we'll go on the top. I mean, the only reason somebody's going to need to see this sticker on here is that the goddamn plane crashes. I'm not going to care where the wires are if the plane's crashed. Okay. Then we're going to go off to the side. I should have the wing on the other side. Yeah, that's going to be plenty. Okay, so let's do that. That's how long it's going to be. Let's switch back. There we go. That's how long it's going to be. So we're going to do the blue and white wire to that length. More twisting. Now I'm not even sitting down. Oh my gosh, it's past 2 o'clock. We're going to do this till 2:30. I can't believe how long I'm spending. But I would be working on this all by myself anyway, so maybe somebody will learn something from this. And I can take this recording and edit it down. Okay. Are we equal? Nope, not quite yet. But you can see it looks like a very professional wiring job when you're done. These ones in the plane over here, not so much. Not so much at all. Those are the Banggood ones that I tear apart to make the servo wire extenders. I buy different lengths of them. There they go. Perfect. Okay, so now what we're going to do is the next phase of this quickly. Hey, what time is it in Europe? And the UK. Probably going to have to switch glasses back and forth 100 times, but okay, so the next phase here is we're going to cut these wires about here. Let's see, where is our center of camera? Center of camera right there. Cut those wires about there. Then we are going to, so this is the total length. It's pretty long. That is about, I shouldn't think in centimeters, I should think in millimeters. That's about what, 500 millimeters? 450. Next, we're going to put one of these on. So what we're going to do is we're going to strip about 3 millimeters off. Then we're going to stick it in the connector. This is where I'm going to change glasses. Oh my god, this is crazy. I have to change glasses 30 times. We stick it in here. I'm actually doing it from this side. I'm going to do it from this side because I'm a lefty. Okay. Gotta have our pliers ready too. And our crimpers. So we don't want it to be too long. That looks good. So we use a little plier action to pinch these little grabbers just a little bit, just so it holds on. Then, this is why I need glasses. You got to get it right at the edge of the crimper. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way. With the little prong things facing up. Right at the edge, the back edge of the crimper. And then down. If you get it too far forward, it will smush up the end that it goes into. That was probably all off of camera. It's really hard for me to see what I'm filming and see this at the same time. So now we'll do the white one. Again, we'll do about 3, that's about 4 millimeters worth of strippage. Then we take one of these and we put it on here. Gotta get it nice and twisty. And then you get it and pinch it onto the silicone jacket like that. Now we're going to get the crimper, and it's going to go right in the edge. The prongs facing up, right on the edge. And those are two perfect, close to perfect. Now this wire is too thick for these Palulu connectors, unfortunately, so you have to force them in. But once they're in and they're locked in, they ain't coming out. I hope. Because if they do, my plane's going to crash. So far, so good. Except for in the, I did have a problem in the Volantex Ranger. And I do think it is related to these connectors that I made. But now I've learned my lesson. And I know how to do it better. I'll show you that technique when we get to it, which is in the short. No, actually, we're not going to get to it yet, because first we got to flash. Okay, so we're gonna pinch this with the pliers. Doink. Then we're going to put it in, prongs up. Get it right to the edge. Right to the edge. There we go. It looks like a good crimp. One more to go. Then we're flashing, folks. Then we're flashing. We will have made it. I will have made my goal in this live stream of completing this task. You know what this benefit of doing this on a live stream is it keeps me focused. Keeps me focused instead of me taking a break and looking at YouTube or Twitter or whatever. You'd think I'd be focused on getting my YouTube. Oh, that's a little too. I have a little too much of the jacket in there. Actually, it's perfectly fine. It should be fine. Okay, let's just keep it like that. Okay, I'm going to try to get this one on camera. If we put the camera up a little bit, then I can do it up here where I can see what I'm doing. So you get the edge right on the edge of the crimper, the little prongs facing up, and just get it in there. It's just like that. So the edge of the back edge is right and this edge. And you release it. Okay. So now we're going to flash this thing. So everything's going to be upside down on the transmitter. Basically what we have is we have this wire, and we are plugging it into the bottom 3 pins of the JR bay. The bottom pin is the smart port pin. The middle pin is the ground pin, and the top of the 3 pins is the positive pin. So I made up a little cable here like this. Then you're going to take this end and we're going to plug it into the white wire and then the positive and negative. So in order to do that, once again, I'm going to change my glasses. And I'm going to take the white wire from this, and it's going to go to the white wire of this. And I'm going to plug it in there. good time to test out the plugs. And this is usually my problem with these. The plug won't necessarily go in all the way. Okay, well, we'll try it out. The blue wire, we do not plug anything into it. Then let's see, the black wire is the purple wire. Purple wire is ground. And then the red wire is the gray wire. Okay, so then another thing I'm going to do is take a little piece of tape, because I'm paranoid and I don't want to break this nice receiver that Andy gave me. I'm going to tape down the positive wire like that, and then I'm going to tape down the negative wire like that. And I'm also even going to tape down the smart port wire like that. So all three wires are taped down and they're not going to touch each other. Nothing's going to happen to them. And again, they are connected into the JR bay in the back of my radio. Smart port on the bottom pin, negative on the second to the bottom pin, and the next one up, so the bottom 3 pins. Smart port, negative, positive. Okay, so then you are going to power up your radio, and you're going to go into the radio's menu. And I don't know how I'm going to show that on here. Shit. That I didn't plan for. I'm going to have to show it like this. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to turn it on.
Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning.
Okay, and then we're going to get rid of that.
Mode. I meant to do that.
Then we're going to hold the menu button down. And I don't know what it'll be on the other ones. Then we're going to go to page, and we got to the SD card menu on the first page. Then I have already put the firmware on the firmware folder. That's a whole nother video in itself. All you have to do is go to the FreeSky website and get the firmware you want. But anyway, we're going to go in there, enter, oops, exit, enter. Then we're going to scroll down and get the firmware we want. And the firmware we want is the R9MM FCC, because that's the one I put on there for this R9MM. It will match the version that I have in my R9 module that I usually have in the module bay of this radio. So we're going to scroll down to that one. We go down to R9MM, like that. And then we're going to do this. We're going to hold the enter button. And we're going to flash external module. That's the top one. Flash external module. And then it will start flashing. So it's writing. It's going to say that. And then on the actual receiver, you're going to see that it, where is it? Hello, receiver. Where are you? There you are. Right there. You'll see the light. The red light's going, the green light's on. The red light flashes. That's what's happening. Is it on there? Yeah, it's right there. God, I can't see over there. That's crazy. So it'll take a few seconds or so. There you can see it. Look at that. Oops. So while it's flashing, we'll just let it sit. The radio, of course, says flashing on it. Or writing. It says writing. So all it will do when it's done is it will just go back. When it's all done, it'll just go back to the listing of the SD card folder that you were in, which is the firmware folder, as you will see in a second. So that's all it did. So once you've done that, that's it. You can turn the radio off, and you can unplug this mess. It's already powered down the module before even I turn the radio off. And then we're going to plug it into the oh, actually, we have to bind it to the radio next. That part I'm probably going to do tomorrow morning. So we have, don't we have a webcam? No, I just don't have the camera views I want ever. It's so crazy. What did I do to set this up? Why did I put that one there and that one there? What's the difference between those two? That's just stupid. No webcam. Webcam's over there. It's in the corner. It's in the middle. We're gonna, oh, I'm gonna go to the webcam. Hold on. That'll be interesting to see how long the stream was, too. Only 53 minutes. That's impressive. So, we did manage to accomplish something in 53 minutes, and that is that we measured out and figured out how long of a cable we would need to put this on our plane, and we also soldered those wires onto our connector, and they seem to apparently be soldered properly, since it seems like I got a good flash. And of course we flashed the firmware that matches my firmware that I use on my R9, because in the R9 ecosystem you want to have all your firmware be the same version. So that's pretty much it for tonight. I'm glad I had a record average watch time of 0 minutes and 0 seconds. That is incredible. So, thanks for watching. And that's flashing the R9 firmware series.